Hello everyone, my name is Amanda and welcome back to another video of the Planting Mandy. Okay, so welcome to part 5, I think, of my Hoya Foliage Favorite series. So today we're going to talk about one of the most requested, and I would say it's pretty expected, one, which is Veiny Hoyas with beautiful wings. And I can see why they're so popular, just because, you know, when I first started collecting Hoyas, I was like, oh my god, like, how or why, you know, does nature do this? This beautiful wings on all these Hoyas. And I was really obsessed with Veiny Hoyas, and then I noticed that when I'm trying to decide which 5 to pick for this video, I noticed that I have a lot of them. So I do my best to pick 5 of them. And so again, this is just the 5 that I like the most in my own collection. So I'm sure there's like plenty other Veiny Hoyas that are gorgeous that I don't have, or I won't cover in this video that you guys may like, and that's why it's important for you to put in the comment below so we can all learn some new species together. And second, when I say this Hoya is rare, or this Hoya it's like, you know, not so easily accessible or hard to get your hands on, I only speaking to my own location. So if you're from a different country or even different states in the United States, you may find it easier to access or harder to access. So yep, with that being said, let's get started. So if you have watched my other Hoya Foliage Favorite video before, know that I normally like to start with like the most common one, or easier to access one. But when I picked this 5, I noticed that, you know, none of them are actually really easily accessible, at least in my location. So I'm just gonna randomly go over them, if that's okay with you. So the first one I want to show you is not only one of my top 5 favorites, Veiny Hoyas, but it's also my just overall one of my favorites, like top 3 favorite Hoyas. And this is the Hoya Polylura, aka Fishtail Hoya. So it's go for Fishtail Hoya, it's just because of the boop, 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 boop. It's like a fishtail. And you can see this have really beautiful veinings on it. You can see it better on the newer leaves, and you can see there's a new one coming out right here. Yay. And I have a bigger mother plant, but I want to show you this one especially because not only that, you know, it have the beautiful veinings, but this propagation actually start developing a silver splash on this, if you can see this leaf right here, silver splash on it. And I was pretty, a little bit surprised because the mother plant is completely green, like there's no splash or speckles whatsoever. But as I propagate, I have a couple of propagation that I cut from the mother plants, and and a few of them develop splash under the grow lights. And I think it's because, you know, just the intensity of the lights and how long I leave the lights on for, which is at least 11 to 12 hours a day. I think that's helped to induce the splash. But regardless, I just love this beautiful shape, like really elegant, like it reminds me of mermaid, like fishtail shape of this Hoyas. So speaking of Hoya Polylura, I got some question about yellowing leaves, like why is Polylura yellowing, or like why does my Hoya Polylura dropping leaves? So I noticed that this plant, in comparison to other Hoyas, like a little bit more moisture, just like the Hoya Bella. So I would say don't let it like go bone dry. Now again, I'm not saying that you should overwater it because it's still a Hoya, and Hoya do not like to be overwatered. But overall, you can keep this one a little bit more moist. I'm gonna film a Hoya care video soon, but you know, just briefly cover it. It's like when I decide if I want to water the Hoyas, not only that I go by, you know, feeling the soil or the medium, but I also mainly actually go by touching the leaves. So Hoya Polylura have a semi-succulent leaves. I would definitely water it when the leaf feel like soft. You know that that's when the Hoyas actually water. But yeah, in general, I find it really easy to grow. It's actually one of the fastest growing Hoyas I have. And I think that's also, you know, thanks to the cooler weather in San Francisco, because Hoya Polylura, they are from a higher altitude. So they do like a little bit cooler weather if you do want to grow these Hoyas. I'm sorry I go into detail with the whole like Hoya Polylura care thing, but you know, it's just because I really, really love this Hoya. Like I said, it's one of my top 3. So I really like put in a lot of work to learn how to care for this particular Hoyas. And it's paid off. So yep, number 1 favorite Veiny Hoyas. Hoyas Polylura plus splash. Yay. Okay, second one. So for this one, I actually have a duplicate. So I decided to show you both because they look so different. A while ago, I filmed a plant twins video. So it's basically showing you guys that the Hoyas that I have multiple of and how they look different, because you know, it could be the genetics, like the clones, or it could be environmental factors, which is very important as well. So yeah, so this is the same idea. So I have this 2 Hoya Callistophylla here. So this is one I got from Gardino Nursery. Yeah, so I got from Gardino Nursery, and it's sold to me as a Hoya Callistophylla long leaves. And the reason that it says it's long leaf is because there is a short leaf version of the Callistophylla. But this was sold to me as a long leaf, although it doesn't look long. But yeah, but this is the first one, and you can see it's a, you know, really beautiful wingings. I like the green, and by the way, it's in moss because I killed it. Well, I didn't kill it. Like, I think I overwater it, and then it started having wood rot. So I took the plants out, and then I cut off all the, you know, that root system, and then I rooted it up again. And you know, it's root up really nicely, and it seems to be like really happy in the moss. So I just, you know, leave it in the moss for now. But yep. So this is the first one. Now the second one. Okay, so this is also a Hoya Callistophylla long leaf. And this convinced me more as a long leaf because, as you can see, the leaves are longer. And yeah, and I would say it's more texture too. So if you like put your hands on it, you can feel like the vein and the bulb and all that good stuff. But yeah, so this is also offered to me as a Hoya Callistophylla long leaf. And this one, it's a lot longer. So yeah, and also it's you can see it's like some of the leaves are like darker green. So I think it's just like I said, it's the clones. So assuming like both sellers label it correctly, which I think they are because they're both really reputable sellers. Yeah, I think it's just because of, you know, the mother plants, like the clones of the mother plant, the genetics of the mother plants, and also the growing environment, like lightings, humidity, watering, all the stuff. But regardless, I will show you both. See, this one is a lot longer, right? But they both offer to me as a Hoya Callistophylla long leaf. So I don't know, but regardless, they are Hoya Callistophylla, and they are both really, really beautiful Veiny Hoyas. So the next one look kind of similar to the Hoya Callistophylla, but you know, they are not obviously the same species. And this is, I showed this multiple times in my Hoyas video, and also this is one of them that I import from Thailand. If you seen my Hoyas from Thailand video, like I got like a huge one of this, but unfortunately the root didn't survive, or the root didn't recover well. So I decided that I want to cut that up into like multiple cuttings, and then I root them up. So I would say the whole plants, I got about at least 10 to 12 cuttings, 3 to 4 leaves each. And only one of them didn't root, like didn't make it, like yellowing before or rotted before it's actually grow roots. And this is no other than Hoya Jennifer. So Hoya Jennifer is a cultivar, and the parents are Hoya inconsector and Hoya Finisonii. So Finisonii, I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with it. It's like the one with like, just like this really beautiful veining. So just from my personal experience, like the Hoya Finisonii is not the easiest to root. It does take a longer, for me at least, to root up a Finisonii. But Hoya Jennifer, because of the genes from the inconsector, which is a vigorous grower, I mean like vigorous, like this guy root up so quickly. It's root up within like a week, and by like the second week, it's already fully rooted. And you can see like the leaves are, there you go, the leaves are like veiny and waxy. And if you feel it, it's like really succulent. As you can see, there's a new leaves growing up here as well. It's a newer one. So yeah, so I would say like this guy is one of my favorite. I pick it. It's not because it have like super unique wingings, which, you know, the winging is cool anyway, but it's such a resilient species. I would say Hoya Jennifer is the most resilient species in my own collection. Like I'm sure there's a lot of other species that I don't have. But this guy, if you feel like you can root a Hoya, or you feel like Hoya is too delicate or whatever, try Hoya Jennifer, because this girl is a beast. So remember I told you I got like this huge Jennifer from Thailand, and you know that like after the plant travel for a long time, and you know when it came to your home, it's weak. It's time to recover. And like I said, because the root doesn't look too hot and it's not recovering really well, I cut it up. And with all that stress, all that process is going through, Hoya Jennifer root up within, like I said, a couple of weeks, and then it's already have that like green, lush, veiny look coming back to its leaves. Because when I first cut it, because the root again is not good, the leaf is kind of like pale and a little bit yellow, but within a few weeks, it's recover so well. So yeah, I mean that's the main reason I pick it, is because, you know, yes, the beautiful wings, but the resilience. So next one, I also showed it in my other videos, but it has grown. And this is the plant that I have been hunting for a while before I got my hands on one. And once I got my hand on one, I found two more. So so it's always happened like that, right? When you're looking for plants, you couldn't find it, but then once you find it, you see like 2 more, or 3 more, or 10 more. So yeah, but I only picked this one because this is my favorite clone, I would say. So this is the Hoya Spa Gangnam Gating. So yeah, I got this plant from Rick, from Rick's and Swiffer's Hoya on Facebook. So Rick is a really popular and reputable and respected collectors and grower of Hoyas. So if you want to check him out on Facebook. So yeah, so when I first got it a few months ago, it's only like 2 leaves. And in my Sun Kids Hoya video and also my Plant Twins video, I show you before I put in the grow light, under grow light, the leaves are just green. But once I start putting in the grow light and I stress it a little bit, it's turned really, really red, just like this. And to make it better, it's grown 2 new leaves for me. And I'm just really amazed by like how different they can look. So you see these 2 leaves are like, you know, it originally came with these 2 leaves, right? And I would say like it's pretty flat. It's have beautiful veinings and the sun stress look, but it's pretty flat. But when these new leaves come out, it's like super like veiny, and like it's really like succulent and big. Like it's much bigger than the bottom leaves. I would say it's at least 1/3 bigger than the bottom leaves. And this one just came out not too long ago, so it's still a little bit softer. But yeah, you can also feel that the texture on this one is a lot more prominent than the older leaf. The older leaf feel like a little bit flatter or like smoother. But the upper lip, you can, if I put my hand on here, closing my eyes, I can still feel the veins. So yeah, so this is definitely a really beautiful veiny Hoyas. I really like it. And this is the Hoya Spa Gangnam Gating. All right, I saved this for the last because it's pretty hard to find. I would say out of all 4, like, you know, compared to all 4 that I show you, this one is probably the hardest to find, not only within the Veiny Hoyas category, but also just overall Hoyas is hard to find. And I think the major reason for that is because it's an extremely slow growing Hoyas. And at the beginning, I was like, okay, is it just me? Like, I don't know how to grow it. That's why it's growing so slow. And then after I spoke with a few of my friends, growers, or, you know, just people who have this Hoya in general, agree that this is a very slow growing Hoyas. But the beautiful foliage make everything worth it. And this is the Hoya Clemensorum. So people also call this the Jurassic Hoyas because look at this leaf. It just looked like, I don't know, dinosaur skin or something. I think that's why people think, you know, call it like a Jurassic Hoya. So this is one of them I have, and you can see how big this leaf is. It's as big as, like, it's as long as my face. So yeah, this is, you know, the leaves can get really big, and you can see there's a smaller leaves right here. Sometimes it's grow out like irregular, which is completely normal. And yeah, so this is my Hoya Clemensorum. So yeah, it's very slow growing. You'll be lucky if you get like 1 or maybe at most, if you're really lucky, maybe at most 2 leaves a year. So yeah, I think that's contribute to like why this plant is so hard to find. And if you find it, they're pretty pricey, at least in my location again. So yep, so this is the Hoya Clemensorum or Jurassic Hoya. And the reason I said this is one of them is because just like what happened to the Gangnam gating, when you're hunting for this plant and you couldn't find it, and when you finally find it, you find a second one. So of course I got the second one. And I will show you this one as well. This is also a Hoya Clemensorum. So this one is have even more prominent texture and veins. So you can see here, you can basically see the rays and the bumps here, right? And then there's another leaf right here. And there's one more right, oops. There you go. There's one more like right here. This one a little bit flatter. So yeah, so there's a rubber band on here because, you know, it's keep popping off of the lacquer. So I'm just gonna tie it up. And by the way, like, I am not like the most, like, let's put it that way. I appreciate or I emphasize on functionality rather than look. So it's not like I don't appreciate good looking pots and perfect setup, but it's more important for me that, you know, the plants stay in place, for example, or like, you know, the nursery pot, like it's narrow enough, it's allowed me to fit as many plants as possible on the shelf. But yeah, no, that's why there's a rubber band. But yeah, off topic, but like going back here, it's, you can see why people are so in love with this plant because it's just so unique, and the leaf can grow like this one is not quite as big as the other one, but it's still pretty big. You know, want to get this plant, and again, you know, they are not cheap, at least in here in the United States, and they're not easy to find. But you know, it's worth it. So I'll show you. So yeah, so these are the Hoya Clemensorum. So yep, ta-da! Yeah, really beautiful. So if you can find one or get your hands on one, and if it's of course, you know, within your budget and you know, you want it that much, get it. So this is the last one, Hoya Clemensorum. Yay. Okay, so that's the top 5, really hard choice top 5. I picked from my favorites. So I would say I debated like so long. For example, I do like the fungii. You know, I do like the what do you call that? Like the Meridifii. But I decided that I like this 5 the best, you know, considering the wings, which is the #1 factors, and also other factors like, you know, how easy it is to grow and, you know, how special or unique it is. I make this decision. So let's recap really quick. I think the first one I show you is one of my all-time favorite, Hoya Polylura, and this one is developing splash under my grow light, which make it even better. So now it's fitting 2 categories, splashy and Veiny. By the way, splashy is coming out. Second one, the Callistophylla, and these 2 are both long leaves, but they look really different. However, regardless, they are just pretty. They're pretty. Yay. That's why I like collecting Hoya so much, because even if they are the same species, they can look so different because of the genetics and also because of the growing environment. So the third one, it's the beast, Jennifer. So yeah, again, this guy is so resilient. It's so easy to root. And if you feel like you want something, because normally the big succulent leaves Hoyas are harder to root, but this one, it's the opposite. It's so easy to root. It's recover, like, you know, once you have healthy roots, you know, coming out, it just recovers so fast. So Hoya Jennifer, which is a baby of a cross of Hoya inconsector, which is a really fast grower, and Hoya Clemensorum, which have really beautiful winging. So I think it's actually get the best of both parents. This is what I would call a really successful hybrid. All right, next I think I show you my Gangnam gating. It's actually a surprisingly fast grower. I thought it would be slow, but nope, it's really fast. The leaves, again, the new leaves look so different than the old leaves. You know, I think it's because just different environment, because I obviously grow it different than because I don't have a backyard and I don't live in Florida. So, yep, Gangnam gating. Okay. Last but not least, the dinosaur Hoyas, which is my Hoya Clemensorum. And you can see this one, super big leaf, very veiny, a lot of texture. And this one as well. So I would say these 2 look like a little bit more alike. It's still a little bit different, but look more alike. Yay. Cool. Alright, so that's all I have got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any other Veiny Hoyas that I didn't mention, there's a lot of them, and you like them, make sure you leave it in the comments below. And if you like this video, make sure you click like if you want more future video like part 6 of my Hoya Foliage Favorite. I don't know how many plug I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna keep the ball rolling. So you guys make sure you keep the suggestion coming. And yeah, click subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.